My pricing tactic here. This video can be quite valuable for many of you that want to become a freelancer or that even are a freelancer. My background is I am a full-time 100% freelancer. I make my living with my Lumix S1H, with my Lumix S5, and I think you can become a freelancer. And in 2022 I made almost 100k in this year, in 2023 not, and certainly not in this year. I have better clients now. People pay me way more money than back in 2022. I raised my prices, I have better clients, I work sometimes for really big fucking companies, like in the billions, and that is pretty cool for me. I work for governments, I work for embassies, and my pricing strategy for the next year is actually pretty simple. I go a little bit back to the roots. What happens when you raise your prices? Let's say your price for one day of covering shooting only. We don't talk about editing here. Editing is such an individual subject. One video takes like maybe a half a day of edit, 500 euros. Some videos take like 5 days of editing or a week or more, and then people must pay you actually 5,000 euro for an edit because of the pain and the revisions. But if we speak here only about the videography price, when people book you as a cameraman, basically you with your kit and your time and your knowledge. Back then in 2022 was my day rate 750 euro-ish, around-ish. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a bit less. Then you have to subtract from that 50 euro for a car rental for that day, and that was then my income was like when I go out and shoot 700 euro. I raised the prices. This year my day rate is now 1,000 euro, and next year in 2025 will my day rate be certainly 1,200 euro about-ish, because I'm older, I have more knowledge, and I certainly have better gear. I have 2 completely built out rigs, and when the Lumix S1H Mark II comes out, then I have 2 rigs that can shoot 6K whatever. I have the Lumix S1H and a rig with a monitor, I have the Lumix S5 and a rig with a monitor. And I am convinced that when you have better camera, better gear, your rate can be higher, but only till the certain point, because the client, most of the clients will not pay you more when you have a Arri camera, Alexa or whatever. They will pay you till the certain quality, till it looks good, and then it's okay. They don't care if you have the Lumix S1H, S5 on Arri Alexa. If it looks good, it looks good. You know what I mean? Why do I go back to the roots? Because not every client needs a full-fledged production day from like 8 hours with 2 cameras, monitors, a huge light kit and everything with 3-point, 5-point light setup and an assistant and whatsoever. Sometimes they need only this guy with the camera. And I made so many little clients happy in 2022 and 2023 also, with like little 500, 600, 700 euro gigs. And I go back to the roots. I will then ask my client, do you want the full-fledged production day? I can give you this for like 1,500 euro a day with like a second guy, a sound guy, very big production with ton of lights and camera and action and all the lenses you can imagine. Certainly people want this. Sometimes some big clients want heavy gear on the set and they want the best production quality, but there is also a huge amount of client, and I'm talking here about a very huge amount of client that really want just this guy with the camera come to my event and cover my little event. They want one guy with one camera. You just need them to get your backpack with some spare V-mount batteries, maybe some extra lenses, a drone maybe, and your one camera, and then you're good to go. I did some of these gigs as a test this year, and I went outside, not even with a car, because I don't own a car. I have a 100 square meter 5-room flat in Berlin, Germany, so I have living room instead of Hubraum, we say. I have a big expensive flat instead of a big expensive car. There are many clients that want like one guy, and when you then show up with a camera, do good work, they're more than happy to pay you 500, 600, 700 euro for your time for the stay. It's only shooting, remember, you're only shooting, we don't talk about editing. And you can make a lot of money with it, because when you have not so much to do, like me, certainly now, I then can say I have enough time for these clients. These clients will not maybe able to book me in like July, September, August, when you have so much to do as a freelancer that you barely have time for anything. Then you have to take like this 1,000 euro for a shooting day, because otherwise you then lose money on editing jobs or whatever. My advice to you is, When you have a certain standing, when you have a certain amount of gear, split this into 2 phases. Like me, I will split it into 2 phases. I will say them have a cheap production or affordable, budget-friendly production day. You know, talk to the clients that they think they make something very smart, very right, your budget-friendly professional setup or your high professional, high-class setup. And then they can choose. Only downside is many people will not know what they want, especially when they have not so much experience in video production. You can maybe teach them. And yeah, that is my little advice for 2025. That's my learning from 2024. That's it. Subscribe to my channel. My name is Paul. See you in the next video.